Avatar, The Way of Water, one of the most expensive productions in Hollywood history, experienced a number of technical difficulties across Japan in its critical opening weekend. Some theaters had machine troubles, others were forced to lower the frame rate of the film to be able to screen it, issues that have fallen prey to Japan's dated cinema industry. Rachelle, this is kind of I guess we come to expect James Cameron film. It's got the latest technology in there. If you think back to the original Avatar, it was kind of the first big 3D movie. I mean, these theaters just weren't ready for it. But also, my question is how that affected sort of the turnout for the first weekend. Because yesterday we saw a big reaction to what was, sort of less than stellar, although it was pretty strong performance in this first weekend, at least here in the U.S. Have you seen it?
I've not seen it, and as much as I think it's beautiful, I'm just not that pressed to see it. I don't know why. I think it's because
it's
it just
3
doesn't feel
hours,
like a very
more than 3 hours.
I was like, already that's off-putting. And then I don't know, I feel like some of the movie magic, like usually there's a couple of blockbusters out at the same time. I mean, pretty much it's just Avatar right now in terms of what came out over the past weekend. And we know that James Cameron says it needs to hit $2 billion in order for it to really sort of break even and be successful. And I mean, some people on Japanese social media, when they were talking about these projection failures, saying, look, some had to give refunds. And as you mentioned, like slowing the frame rate down from, I think it was 48 per second to 24. When you put that much money and effort into a film of this scale, and then for it not to show properly and to have fans disappointed, doesn't bode well. I mean, I'm assuming people would come back and try and see it if they've trudged all the way out there to come and watch it. But I mean, it's disappointing. And I don't know what that means for other movie theaters in other countries who don't have the same technology to keep up as well, what that's going to end up doing to the final numbers.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, to your point, that the technical side of this is just as much of an attraction as the storyline itself. I haven't seen it yet, but it is one of those movies where you think if you're going to watch it, you definitely have to watch it in the theaters. By the way, they showed it across 1,466 screens nationwide in Japan. That is a record, apparently. But they didn't take the record in the first weekend at the box office. So maybe that points to some glitches that we saw play out at the theaters.